Good evening, folks. Tomahawk Stadium, the site. There's a teepee in the background. We've got a play clock, and it looks like we are almost ready for game action here, courtesy of PlayOnSports.com, TSSAA Network.com. My name, Jason Martin, handling the play-by-play tonight. Next to me, the one and only Adam Hollis in the analyst position. We're going to get this thing down to business here in just a bit as the coin toss is happening right out in front of us. Riverdale 4-1, Adam. Hendersonville 3-2. We've seen Hendersonville on Play On Sports earlier in the year. And by the way, Play On Sports, over 100 games this week being done tonight and getting some attention through Max Preps and some national exposure as well for Play On Sports as we're in our maiden voyage, but we are really starting to turn some heads here. I actually heard my name announced earlier tonight. That was kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. And I'll tell you what else is cool. This game, this matchup. This should be a great ball game tonight. Hendersonville, comes in, winners of 2 straight. Riverdale coming off a tough district loss last week to Siegel. A game in which, it was really close right up until the end. Siegel's really starting to wear some people out offensively. So just a little chink in the armor. But, Riverdale, so impressive at home. They've won 90% of their home games. They've got a 10-game winning streak right here at Tomahawk Stadium. So Hendersonville playing a little more than football. They're playing tradition. They're playing state championships. And, oh, by the way, Ron Adelot, he's won a lot of ball games.
He has, and I'll tell you what. It's hard to win in this stadium, as you said, and one of the reasons why, these fans were here early. They've been loud for over an hour, and this is one of the most beautiful venues I've ever seen for high school football. You see some stadiums in need of repair and all that because the budgets obviously aren't what you see in the NFL or in the NCAA. This place is gorgeous.
Ready to go. The fans tailgating in the parking lot when we drove in today about 5 o'clock. And it really is a phenomenal venue. They've got the Tomahawk Chop going, that Florida State Seminoles and Bobby Bowden and those folks made so familiar. And, for Hendersonville, they need to slow this game down. This cannot be a track meet. They've got to slow this one down.
And quarterback Dylan Woodruff over 700 yards passing already this season, multiple touchdowns, only 1 interception. So he is adept at the quarterback position. But you'll see a lot of wishbone tonight from Riverdale, and they're going to be kicking it off to the away team, the Hendersonville Commandos. I'm going to make it easy for you. This is Florida State versus Army. Florida State is Riverdale. Army is Hendersonville. They're in white, trimmed in black. Riverdale about to kick off in the burgundy, trimmed in white and with the gold helmets. And we're set to go from Tomahawk Stadium. Friday night football in effect. And it's going to be taken on the 5. He slips. Actually fought off 1-2 tackles, stays on his feet, but he's going to get taken down around the 13-yard line, and that is where Jeremiah Selston, the sophomore quarterback, 5'11", 178, will step out to take the reins for the Commandos.
If you're Bruce Hatfield, you wanted a better opening return than that. You're really pinned down now, and, that's just looked like poor footing. Couldn't get it going, couldn't get it to the wedge, and you got bad field position to start it.
And right out of the gates, short little gain. Ball on the 16.
You're going to see Hendersonville doing a lot of what they call pickup motion. Sometimes the motion man will come a little faster than at other times. Really tough on the backside. You really have to read your keys on defense.
And another just basic run.
Looked like Cameron Turner up inside.
Minimal gain for Cameron Turner. Maybe gets about 3 or 4 there. That's going to leave. Well, they're going to give him 5, so not a bad run there on 2nd and 10. That's going to leave 3rd and 5 for the Commandos.
You got 3rd and 5. You figure you got to be throwing the football here, but you don't want to try and make a living picking up 3rd and 5s all the time after 1st and 2nd down run plays that aren't super efficient.
And first throw of the game for Jeremiah Selston is complete to number 81. That's the tight end, Chad Dye, who plays both ways. and he is going to be cut down without being able to get much yardage after the fact, and that's going to mean a quick 3-and-out for the Commandos.
Yeah, I like the play call, just kind of calling a three-step concept, high completion percentage. Problem is the route's not deep enough if Riverdale comes up and plays assignment football and makes tackles, and that's what happened.
And there's the kick. It's going to be fielded about the 29-yard line. That is number 1, Mariko Odom, who plays safety, and he's one of the feature backs, and he's still on his feet and scoots out across the 40 to about the 43. So a good return right there by Mariko Odom, the wingback.
You know, there was a guy that used to play in a uniform that looked like that called Primetime.
Yeah.
That wasn't quite prime time, but that had some electricity to that return.
Another guy used to wear that uniform, Peter Warwick, and that looked a little bit Peter Warwick-like as well on that return. And there is the same guy, Mariko Odom, down to the 5-yard line. I looked down literally for 2 seconds, and this thing is almost already a touchdown for Riverdale.
You know, he gets it on the, and it looks like
look at Odom.
He's limping a little bit. He'll be all right, but I'll tell you what, he gets it on the sweep and throws his left foot in the ground and gets north and south in a hurry. Nice run.
And he not in the game. Number 15 now takes that carry. That's Ricardo Terry, the senior. He doesn't get too much right there, so Hendersonville nuts up a bit on defense down close to the goal line.
I'll tell you what, Riverdale's got a whole host of folks that can carry the football.
They sure do, and they don't mind using them.
I mean, it could be Terry, it could be Odom, it could be Boykin, it could be Phillips. Pretty impressive stable of running backs.
Ooh. Hit on the quarterback, didn't have the football. He had already passed it off there on the handoff, and that's Terry again. And again, short game. Not even sure he got to the 5-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. They're going to say 7-yard line, and it's 3rd and goal here. As you see, one of the captains for this team, fullback Scotty Boykin, coming into the game after having a conversation with quarterback Dylan Woodruff.
Play action here?
That's very likely. You're the coach. Woodruff back, rolls to his left a bit, now trying to escape, and does so efficiently, folks. I do believe he crossed the plane. Yes, signal, touchdown, Riverdale. There was decent pursuit there, but not a good enough angle, I don't believe, Adam, to make a stop right there on Dylan Woodruff on the keeper.
Straight drop back pass, no play action there, and he's got nothing. Great coverage by Hendersonville. Unfortunately, Contain breaks down on the pass rush, and, you know, that kid can scoot too.
Yeah, sure can. 7-yard touchdown run for Dylan Woodruff, pardon. Number 14, quarterback. And that's a high extra point directly down the center, and it's 7-0 at the 8:10 mark of quarter number 1 here from Tomahawk Stadium. And Adam Hollis, that was quick.
One big run. You know, Mariko Odom sets him up.
Really, you can call it 2 big runs for Mariko Odom, because first he has the great return, and then he comes right back down and gets it down to the 5-yard line, and it takes him all the downs, pretty much, to get into the end zone, but they do so. The question is, we saw a lot of Odom. Is he okay? We'll see if he comes back out. He also plays on the defensive side of the football, so I don't know. His offensive structure, they may keep him out.
He's getting taped up right now on the sideline, and I've got to think he'll be okay. Didn't look like a serious injury, just maybe a little ankle roll or nothing a little tape can't fix.
Yeah, he works at safety for this team as well, and I would imagine they would keep him for offense, if anything, so he probably will not be a part of this drive.
And this is what we were talking about right at the top of the telecast is Hendersonville's got to slow this thing down. That just happened quick. So now if you're Hendersonville, you can't go 3 and out. You can't have a return that only brings you out to the 13-yard line. You got to get a good return here, get some field position, slow this thing down a little bit on go on a drive.
And there's a kick. High, but a little bit short. Fielded at about the 7-yard line. And he gets that thing out to about the 30. So a decent run there for number 43.
Orr returns the ball to the 29. Tackle for the Warriors. Number 40, Quan Sneed, and number 34.
It was Justin Orr. Split in free safety. So here's Elston under center. Sends a man in motion, but gives it to the lead back, and he's going to power his way across the 32. Falls to about the 33-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4.
Tackle for the Warriors from number 57, Ethan Oran. Gain of 4. Second and 6 from the 34.
2nd and 6, manageable call here. Could see play action.
Here's Elston. He's going to keep this one. Rolls across, tries to throw back across the field, and is successful. And there is a lot of green in front of Cameron Turner, one of his favorite weapons, and he's out across midfield and into Riverdale territory. Boy, they totally fooled Riverdale there. They followed Jeremiah Elston, who threw it back across the field, which, Adam, is usually a dangerous decision, except when you have a wide-open running back who then runs for about 30 yards.
Real nice play action and then a screen back across the field, and he had an escort right up the right sideline. That was well designed and well executed by the quarterback. Didn't panic, carried out his fake, booted away, makes a nice throw.
So here's Elston. Again, sends a man in motion. And gives to number 34 again. That is Corey Jones. That's his second carry, I believe.
Yeah, I think we missed him on an earlier carry, and I'll tell you what, these two offenses are so similar. It's interesting, and in fact, we were talking to Coach Adelot before the game, and he and Coach Hatfield both went to Tennessee Tech.
Yep, even though Adelot played baseball.
Even though.
And, boy, I thought for a second that Jeremias actually had that football, and if he did, that would have been a touchdown. But instead, short handoff.
Well, don't think they didn't see that upstairs.
And that gets to about the 38-yard line. And that will leave 3rd and a short 2.
Well, Adelot was quick to point out that he played baseball there, but Coach Hatfield, he played football and actually was close to making the New York Jets.
Here's Elston. This time it's a double handoff. That's Kabasu with the football, who's been successful at times this season for Hendersonville. And that's obviously another first down, and he is limping as well, and he actually asked for the substitution, touching his helmet there, needs to come off the field, but not before he advances the football to the 26 and moves the chains for Jeremiah Elston and the Commandos.
Hendersonville is answering. This is exactly what they needed to do. They're slowing the game down. They're going on a nice drive here.
They got the football at him at 8:11 mark of the first quarter. It's now 5:32 and counting, and first down. And that's Jones again, getting a lot of action from the fullback spot.
Tell you what, they're doing a nice job creasing inside there. Across the board, that's a great job. Ryan Ward and Andrew Spurlock and Taylor Felice inside for Hendersonville doing a great job of creating space and getting up to linebackers right now inside. I'll tell you what, they'll make it a long night for Riverdale's defense if they can keep creasing them inside like that.
Hadn't seen many times. As a matter of fact, we haven't seen it all tonight. Jeremiah Elston from the gun, and that's where he was, but all for naught as we've got a timeout on the field. And that's a timeout, Hendersonville. That'll be their first charge timeout. So they've held the ball at him for 3 minutes now and moved the ball pretty efficiently. The one pass, obviously, with a big run to Cameron Turner And other than that, they've just kind of stayed on the ground and just kind of methodically moved down the gridiron.
And they've, and Hendersonville is getting exactly what they want, which is to be able to get their feature back or their full back, their dive back, whatever you want to call them. Get him going inside between the tackles where they can run some dive, they can run some belly, they probably have some veer option they can run out of that. And, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Now, if you're Riverdale, you want to come up with a stop here and leave it with a field goal attempt and then go back to work on offense.
So, first down and 10 from the 16-yard line for Elston. He's got Jones behind him, and he gives it to Jones again. This time, nothing doing as he runs into a fleet of Warrior tacklers led by number 53.
And number 21, Bobby Boykin.
And Boykin also in on that tackle.
Now, 53 is a vacant spot on the roster, so we're having a little
funny.
trouble bringing you
PA
the name.
Announcer goes, tackle by number 53 and number 21, Scotty Boykin. So maybe interesting name decisions. Blank on everybody's list. Here's Elston. This time he's going to keep it. Or that's not Elston. That's actually number 3. That's Cameron Turner, who came in. 2 and 3 look awfully alike in the dark, but he's going to scoot around to about the 10-yard line.
Tell you what, that's a great pickup on 2nd and long right there, because now you've got a real manageable third down call here. And, depending on how you feel about your kicking game, this could be 2-down territory, and you can run the ball right up in here.
And good sign. I just saw Kabasu check back into the game for the Commandos, as did Elston. Turner moved the ball a little bit. Now 3rd and 4. Elston still with the football, and he's retreating, and he's in a lot of trouble, and he's jerked down for a major loss at about the 25-yard line. And that is Mr. Question Mark, number 53, on an amazing one-man tackle with Jeremiah Selston, who is a pretty fleet-footed quarterback.
Looked like he could have cut up inside the kick-out block there by the guard that pulled. This is a 42-yard field goal. Call it 40.
Yep, 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Kick is up, and it's Bryce DeGuerra, and it's good. And that's a heck of a kick for a prep school kicker, Adam Hollis, and that makes it 7-3. But more importantly, over 5 minutes elapsed off the clock where Riverdale had to wait. And you still see Mariko Odom, number 1, sitting on the bench, still being worked on a little bit here. I'm not so sure he's going to come back into the game just yet.
Well, that's a big blow for Riverdale if he can't come back. But, certainly capable people offensively for Riverdale as all year they've played a lot of these running backs. So, while he's a special player, you do have suitable backups, which is, a good problem to have. And that's why Riverdale's Riverdale, because they've got depth.
Yeah, they definitely have depth, particularly at the running back spot. So 7-3.
But if you're Bruce Hatfield, that's a productive drive.
Oh, absolutely. Saw some good stuff from your quarterback. I mean, yeah, he took the sack, but there was nothing he could do. At least he didn't make a terrible decision and throw the football away.
Throw the football late and over the middle.
So DeGuerra to kick it off from the 40. 2 men deep for Riverdale.
Kicking off for Hendersonville, number 24, Bryce DeGuerra.
Austin Ross, number 45. And Austin McGrone, also back for the Warriors. And a kick high. Good deep kick inside the 5, and it gives his defense plenty of time or special teams to get there.
Oh, boy.
But they made a miss. And that's McGrone, and he's made 3 people miss, still on his feet. My goodness, and they finally wrap him up and take him down inside the 35-yard line. So that's not what you want.
Well, Hendersonville had a player down there, Xavier Brown, it looked like, number 46, and he's got to fold around the wedge and make that play, and he didn't make the play, and It was creased.
And it was Braden Schwerk that made the ankle-saving tackle because that could have been 6. McGrone looked like he wanted all of it right there, made some serious moves, and it looked like he wasn't going to make it back to the 20-yard line. In motion comes McGrone. Woodruff throws, and my goodness, there was only one guy anywhere close to that football, and it was Bailey Rogers, the DB for Hendersonville, who almost had a gift interception down here.
Yeah, that was real close to being boomeranged, because if he picks that off, there's nobody left. There's nobody left. But interesting call there. I mean, usually when you see a big return like that and you see a team on 1st and 10 come out and throw the ball, usually it's hard play action, and usually it's for the bundle.
2nd and 10 from the 32. Here's Dylan Woodruff under center. Sends McGrone in motion, but hands it. And he actually got more yardage there than it originally appeared. That's number 27. And number 27, Peyton Phillips, one of the senior captains of this team.
He was dragging folks.
He was. It looked like he was going to be knocked down about the 31, and that ball's placed outside to about the 24-yard line.
Got to love all this misdirection stuff. While it's tough for us up here,
it's fun to watch.
It means it's being well coached.
It's fun to watch, and it's certainly not easy to scout either. Mariko Odom still receiving treatment. We will keep you updated on that. Dylan Woodruff sends McGrone in motion again, and he's going to hand it to Peyton Phillips one more time, and Phillips this time doesn't get much. Hendersonville snips that one out, knocks him down about the 22-yard line.
This is going to be close, giving him first down.
Wow, they're not even going to measure it. First down, Warriors. 21 on the scoreboard, but it looks more like the 22. Nose of the football about halfway between the 2-yard markers. 7-3 early, 1:28 and counting in the first quarter. On the rollout, Woodruff throws, and almost a beautiful one-handed grab there by McGrone, but he is unable to corral it. But a pretty good play call. That pass was just a little bit too far in front of him to make the catch.
Real nice using the play action, getting Woodruff on the move a little bit there. He's got a flat route, and he's got that shallow cross, and he just missed that shallow cross for a big play. They're trying to get the aerial attack going a little bit. I think they don't want to be one-dimensional, which means they've got some respect for Hendersonville.
Yep, they sure do. McGrone goes in motion again. This time, Woodruff keeps it. And a pretty solid tackle right there by number 32. That's Drew Davis, the defensive end, making the stop on Dylan Woodruff, who was not able to get anything.
Drew Davis was not fooled.
No, he wasn't.
And I'm going to say he was responsible in that defensive scheme for the quarterback, and he did his job.
He either stole the playbook or knew what he was doing. I'm going to go with the latter. Dylan Woodruff from the gun. 5-step drop, and he's going to get laid out again. That's number 78 on that tackle, Brandon Bork, the left tackle. 6'3", 250 if you need him. And Riverdale certainly didn't on that particular possession.
How about the way Hendersonville is buckled up here on defense?
Well, they've done it twice, Adam. They got down to the 5 on the first drive, and it took them all the way to third down to find their way into the end zone on the quarterback keeper. And now here, Hendersonville really tightening up. 2 consecutive sacks for this defense, and that leaves 4th and 13. And I think they may let the clock run out. 5 seconds to go here in the first, and it's been an interesting football game, an explosive first drive for Riverdale. But since that point, you could argue Hendersonville has been the better football team.
It's really been since Odom went out.
That's a very good point, and I see Odom now laying down. Still receiving, actually he's not even receiving treatment anymore. He's just laying down. They've actually walked away from him. That can't be good news.
No, and I don't think it's a serious injury, but sometimes those high ankle sprains can be a little on the tough side.
Folks, Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Make sure to follow us on both. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. So second quarter about to commence, and that was a pretty quick first quarter, Adam Hollis. I barely felt like we started this thing, and we're already 12 minutes into the football game, 7-3 lead. But fourth down upcoming for Riverdale.
And you're going to get the best of both worlds here because you've got two pretty good running attacks, and I think Hendersonville showed up to play. Come off two straight wins, start the year 1-2, two straight wins. Riverdale, tough loss last week against Siegel, still kind of trying to find that groove, but big fourth down here, big fourth down.
Fourth down and 16 from the 26, and they're going for it in the gun. And Peyton Phillips next to him in the gun, and he's got a man, and he overthrows McGrone. That's twice McGrone's tried to make a one-handed grab on just a little bit of an errant pass, but it goes for nothing, and Hendersonville is going to take over. And I'll tell you what, for Hatfield and his defense, they have to be excited about what they just saw for the last 5 minutes of the first quarter.
Well, no doubt, but they dodged a bullet there because they did not have a middle third player. And it
was a touchdown if the pass was where it needed to be.
You got that right. You got that right, J. Mark, because there was no safety help right there. That was one-on-one.
All the while, Jeremiah Selston takes over at the 26, first down, and he's under center, two men behind him, two to his left. And he gives it to the first man he ran into, who was able to get maybe a yard, if that. And that was Cameron Turner. See if they even give him a yard. They actually gave him 3.
They are
big pile, but pretty nice spot there.
There's been some pretty good spots so far. And they're staying inside. They are committed to playing a physical football game tonight, Hendersonville is.
And that's Turner again, and that's out to the 32-yard line. 31-yard line, pardon me, so that's another 3-yard gain.
You've got a big third down here if you're Bruce Hatfield. You want to be able to convert this and stay on the field and give yourself another set of downs here. Shotgun.
In the gun, he's got Kabasu out here to his left. You might want to watch him on this play. Elston actually goes to his right, and that was a pretty good-looking play. Pass a little bit high, a little bit wide, and number 23, Bailey Rogers, unable to make the play.
Well, I mean, he had him. Just a question of putting the ball on the money. Both quarterbacks don't seem to be as sharp right now as they had been previous couple of weeks. I mean, Woodruff almost throws the interception there on the last drive. He's only thrown one pick all year. I mean, he has managed the game and taken care of the football for the Riverdale Warriors.
It's a fair catch that, and he may not even touch it. Nope, he's going to touch it down at the 8-yard line. And that's Ricardo Terry.
Good change of field position there for Hendersonville. I mean, they come out, they make the stop on fourth down. They don't get a first down, but what a terrific punt.
And Riverdale, pretty good defense on that last one as well. 3 and out. 10:28 to play, second quarter, 7-3 home team. But this looks like the people that predicted a blowout could be wrong. Looks like Hendersonville really showed up with their A game tonight.
Who predicted the blowout?
I did.
Did you?
I did. I did not.
Of course you did.
I read a lot of articles.
I'm gonna have to check. I'll check out either Withrow, Withrow or Maurice Patton.
And again, Hendersonville defense having none of this running up the middle anymore. Mariko Odom still laid out on the bench. I think he may be done for the night, and that is a shame, both for that kid who's done amazing work this season. and maybe more of a shame for Riverdale, particularly on the return game.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Bork inside for Hendersonville is starting to become a little bit of a nightmare up front for Riverdale.
2 big plays already in this game for Bork.
And he was in on that festival.
Festival, I like it.
It was a festival at the running back.
I like it. It was an Oktoberfest. 9:45. And just a basic run over there to the right, trying to get to the corner. Can't do it. That's number 37. Brandon Stewart, fullback. Not able to hit the corner. He gets stopped before he even made it to the numbers on the yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Clock still running. 9:22 to play first half. Peyton Phillips not going to be a part of this play. Heads to the sidelines. Austin McGrone just a little bit to the right. He's going to be sent in motion. And he might be the target. Deep throw right here from the 5. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
That ball's going to be – I thought it was picked off. 1, it should have been caught. 2, it should have been intercepted. 3, it's nothing, and we're just going to move to the next down.
It's unbelievable. We're going to move to a punt because that was 3rd down. But I'll tell you what, nice play call. Hendersonville was in a 2-deep shell. With the fly motion, they rolled to 3 deep. The safety ended up having to fold over and try and make the play on the post. He was nowhere to be found.
No.
That's a tough recovery because he's coming off the near hash. He's got to get to the far hash to rob the post.
And without question, that was Woodruff's best throw of the game. But it's thwarted, and that punt was almost blocked in the end zone. But instead, he gets the thing about 50 yards, and it's going to die in Hendersonville territory. I thought it was touched, but they're going to put the ball on the Hendersonville 47-yard line for Jeremiah Selston. Pretty good punt right there considering it was almost blocked. That was number 41 on that kick, Todd Huber.
Real good. I tell you what, Hendersonville, they were coming after that punt. They had 3 They had 3 guys there. They got some pretty good penetration. That's something Riverdale's going to need to address at halftime, shore up the punt protection there because there were a couple of seams and a couple of guys that could have made that block.
So the quarterback's maybe not quite as sharp, but Woodruff was certainly sharp on that last throw, and it should have been a touchdown 90-yarder.
Yeah, it looked like it went right off his face mask,
it did.
and that's tough. And you know, if you're Woodruff and you're struggling a little bit, you obviously want to see that one caught for a little confidence.
So a 15-yard personal foul moves it to the 38 of Riverdale. That's a huge mental mistake at this point in a game that looks to be a lot tighter than most people originally expected. I knew it was going to be tight, but that's why I'm doing this.
Hendersonville's winning the field position game right now. They just got to cash in with some points.
Elston and company from the left hash. And that's number 27, Andrew Pate. Gets it inside the 40. Let's see where they're going to place this. About the 38, maybe the 39.
Not much there. Scotty Boykin did a nice job of coming in there and making that play.
That's why he's a senior captain.
Tell you what, I'm a little maybe I shouldn't be surprised. A lot of very good football players playing both ways for both these programs.
Absolutely.
2 good football programs.
Riverdale's a dynasty in this state in large part. We'll talk more about that as the broadcast continues tonight here on Play on Sports at TSSAA Network.com. And another run, and that's number 34, Jones, Corey Jones. And he gets it to his own number. He gets it to the 34-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of about 4. And that'll bring up 3rd and a pretty long 6. So Riverdale's defense trying to get their quarterback the football back, and this crowd has quieted a bit, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Henderson's been so much into the boundary, into the short side of the field. See if they go to the field here.
And Elston hands it off to Jones again, and Jones never even got the ball before he was already tackled and knocked down low. And he gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So 4th and 6, and this would be a long kick, but I see DeGuerra coming into the game.
This is Major League here if he knocks this through.
I want to say we saw DeGuerra in the last Play on Sports broadcast when I was around Hendersonville make one from 52. But we'll see. They are going to attempt this.
Or they're going to fake it.
It's 51 yards. This is scholarship stuff right here.
Riverdale's expecting a fake.
And it's not going to get this play started. Whistle before the snap. We'll see if somebody took a timeout.
Well, now you got a decision to make.
Is it a delay? Now you've really made this. Yeah, now they're going to have to kick the ball.
Now they're going to have to punt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they're going to have to punt it.
Now it's not for points. Now it's for field position. So,
and if you think 5 yards is no big deal,
it was a formation penalty right there, and it may have cost them 3. Low snap, but fielded. He got hit by his own man as he kicked the ball, but doesn't matter. Ball rolls through the back of the end zone. We'll start this thing at the 20. So that was an interesting. We'll see. I don't know. It's a long thing to say a 51-yarder was going to go through, but DeGuerra's got a leg. I've watched him this season, so that could prove to be pretty large, that 5-yard penalty.
And if you're Hendersonville, that's the last thing you wanted to happen. You got great field position at the 38 going in, and you come away with no points. And so that's in the little games that go on within the big game, that's a win for Riverdale.
Sure is. I'll tell you what's not a win for Riverdale. Mariko Odom. Down, not moving, and I keep seeing him put his hand over his face like he's just so disappointed. And that's number 27, Peyton Phillips again, and Phillips gets it out across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. And as you said, a wealth of riches at the tailback spot for Riverdale, and that's the one, at least you don't want to call it an advantage, but it's at least a positive when you lose somebody like Odom. And I see actually now McGrone, the receiver, come over and shake Odom's hand. That can't be good.
No, and you got to rely on your captains now. So Boykins, Phillips, Woodruff, they've all got to step up, and they're all capable players.
All of them are seniors. They've been here before.
Yeah, no doubt.
Woodruff still with the football. Steps a couple moves to his right, throws the ball to 37, and number 37 had 2 guys around him, and that's Brandon Stewart. We saw him carry the football earlier. He's a fullback, got way down the field, and makes a great catch. Pretty good coverage.
Good, and now Woodruff's thrown
two good. Say incomplete. They're going to say he didn't get his foot down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Woodruff has now thrown 2 good footballs.
That was a great ball right there.
Good ball on the wheel route right there. And then the post, that should have been the touchdown.
Boy, that looked like a completion for sure, but he's unable to corral it or maintain control going out of bounds.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 10 coming up from the 32.
Yeah, I thought he caught it too. Great call on first down.
It was. It fooled everybody. Probably a run coming here. Nope, he's going to throw again. Nope, he's going to drop it. Had nothing. Tries to get something. And he's going to get the ball to about the 36. I'm not sure where his knee went down, but a 4-yard gain. He wanted to throw, but again, pretty good coverage down the field by the Commandos secondary, and he was unable to make the big throw.
Braden Schwartz came down from his safety position and made sure Woodruff was not turning that into an explosive.
Schwartz made a couple of plays in this game. 3rd and 6. 5:08 to play in the first half, and this thing is going quickly, folks. That's McGrone on the reverse. Initial handoff went to number 15, Ricardo Terry, and he turned around and handed it to Austin McGrone, and McGrone gets the 6 yards and moves the chains.
I tell you what, they've gone to that play a couple of times, and they're having some success with it. And I've got to think, as a linebacker, that's pretty hard to try and follow where the ball's going because you're getting a flow one way. By the time you redirect and realize the ball's going the other way, you're getting pinned.
And pinned right there meant first down Riverdale. From the gun, Dylan Woodruff. He's got Peyton Phillips to his left. He's out in the flat, but he's not open. He's going to throw it back to 15, Terry again. Terry digs that ball out and actually makes the catch. A pretty good catch by him because Woodruff just needed to get rid of the football and underthrew that.
Yeah, and Woodruff's not really, and I don't know if he's struggling reading the coverages a little bit tonight, but he's just not throwing anything in rhythm. It's, he's taking his drop and then he's bouncing, he's patting the ball a little bit, and there's nothing in their pass game right now that is in rhythm, and that's what they need to happen.
Well, we know he's capable because we've seen some good deep balls from him.
No doubt.
Here he is from under center. He's got Phillips behind him. This time Phillips gets the carry, tries to get to midfield, is not going to make it as he is knocked down. That's number 21 on the tackle, Anthony Tate. And again, defense stout for Hendersonville. I wonder if
5'9", 235 is Tate.
That's something else right there. 5'9" football player starting in Tennessee.
5'9", 235 junior, playing right on the center's nose.
And made a perfect form tackle right there. And that brings up 3rd and 5, and a pretty big 3rd and 5 at midfield. From the gun, rolls to his right, throws, and that's actually that pass might have been a little bit high, but a nice catch right there. And that's Tad Onwu, who's done a lot for this team all season and helped get them to the 4-1 record. That was a great catch. That was a little high. Had to change his direction and come back across to get the ball with his hands and was able to corral that football and make positive yardage after the fact.
I'll tell you what, based on that, he's got some nice hands. Now, I don't know if it's like that always, but the way the eyes went right to the football, and, I mean, there was no body, there was nothing. He just went and snatched that. And then the run after the catch.
So Onwu successful, big gain, 1st down. And this is Peyton Phillips, and he is just dragging number 54, Trevor Connor, holding onto his jersey for dear life, and finally gets him around the 10-yard line. Power running back right there.
Yeah,
the fullback Peyton Phillips.
Yeah, and a nice read by Woodruff. They went back to the veer option there, and they're just, it's either dive or he's keeping it. Did a nice job of reading the unblocked defensive end, and they ran right up underneath it.
So, another 1st down, 12-yard line. And there's a fumble, just kind of a bad handoff right there, and that was number 53 finding his way back onto the football. The mystery.
We'll get his name in halftime.
We're going to find that out.
But they went back to that same, and I don't even know what you call it. It's the old Buck Sweep series, the old Delaware stuff. And that time they just had a bad exchange, but they went back to that play again. Been so successful. But now they've got a 2nd and long.
2nd and 12 now from the 14. They've got to get it to the 2 for a 1st down. Rolls to his left, does Woodruff. He's holding the ball. Maybe held on to it a little too long. Oh. He escapes Brandon West the first time, but West doesn't give up on it, grabs him by the ankle on the 2nd effort, and he's going to lose more yardage.
Yeah, and that wasn't a good decision by Woodruff because he had someone in the flat wide open right now, and you don't go broke taking a profit. Just get the ball out there, complete the pass in the flat, and let your playmakers do their thing.
I'm Jason Martin, color analyst tonight, Merrill Lynch.
I like that. Now, I can go broke making a profit.
Woodruff from the gun. He certainly wants to throw here, but he's going to have to throw this football away. 2 commandos on the chase, including the Will linebacker, Ryan Ward. Again, Hendersonville's having no trouble getting to Dylan Woodruff.
No,
they are getting to him at will, basically.
Yeah, and Ward and Bork were both there chasing him down, and I'll tell you what, and good decision by Woodruff. Throw it away. But looks like they're going to leave their offense out on the field for this one. They're going to go for it on 4th and no.
They're going to kick this thing.
They're going to kick this thing. Okay.
So it's Todd Huber.
Woodruff's the holder, which is always nice when your quarterback's the holder. Always got the threat of the fake.
35 yards. And we're going to see this lined up again.
We got to delay a game.
Yep. Play clock runs out, so that's going to push them back 5 yards. Probably not what you want.
No.
You're ate a lot there.
Yeah. That's so tough. That drives head coaches crazy. And I've been part of that scenario. And then you just now if you're responsible for making that call and getting that personnel in the game. You're just praying that this goes through.
35 becomes 40, and that's Huber's kick, and that thing is short and wide, and no thank you.
Hendersonville dodged a bullet.
I'll tell you what, that was good from 35, not good from 40. So the 5 yards costs Riverdale, and what's worse about taking the delay is they had all 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
Burn a timeout, don't give up the 5 yards.
Right, which means, lost a little, weren't really paying attention to the clock there, or, and that's tough because, this facility is so nice. You have the benefit of the play clocks here.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools that do not have a play clock. They have an official standing in the end zone making lines at about the 10-second mark.
J. Mart, I am stunned this is such a low-scoring game.
Elston hands off to Jones, and Jones rumbles his way across the 25 where he's upended, and he's going to get knocked down about the 26-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6. Hendersonville came to play.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, they have exactly what we talked about at the top of the telecast. The game is slowed down.
Yep.
And
listen to this crowd.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. Henderson, they've done a night. The Commandos.
They're in the middle of the benediction at church right now here at Riverdale.
I'll tell you what, it was a lot louder earlier.
Elston gives to Kabasu, who's going to come across to the right, and he stays on his feet. And he's going to be down about the 38. Good run, good blocks across the formation, and an easy first down for Elston and the Commandos. And Hatfield's got to be thrilled against a good 4-1 team that was number 2 ranked last week before the loss to Sevier. And it's a penalty, so I guess he's not going to be that happy.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got to feel okay because we're under a minute here before halftime. And, barring something unforeseen here, he's going to be down 4 points at halftime. And he's got to feel good about, 1, the way his defense is playing, and 2, how he's been able to kind of pace this first half.
Folks, I said the blocking was really good. It sure was. It was a hold. So 10 yards, and very short gain right there on the direct handoff. And there's only 45 seconds to play in the first half. And this has been quite quick.
I haven't touched my Coke.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 sips of this bad boy. 30 seconds and counting, nobody taking a timeout.
I mean, if you're Hendersonville here, you taking a shot?
Well, it looks like they're going to let the clock drown and maybe try something.
One play?
We'll see.
The thing that's tough is you don't want it to backfire after your kids have played such a great half.
And Elston gets dragged down.
Riverdale should burn the timeout and make them punt.
3 seconds, 2, 1, and they won't make them punt, and the clock runs out on the first half in lightning quick fashion. PlayOnSports.com, TSSAA Network.com. Glad we're not getting paid by the hour here because this thing's going to be over in rapid fashion. 7-3, Adam, and we could go through the highlights, but there really aren't any. There have just been some solid defense on both sides, particularly on Hendersonville challenging the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, what's been amazing is that the game started. You talk about the way it started. I mean, you get the big return by Mariko Adam. You get the big run by Mariko Odom. I'm sorry. You get the big punt return. You get the big run, and it looks like it's going to be fast break city. He goes down, and really since then, Riverdale has not been explosive offensively. Missed the post for the touchdown. I mean, things could have been a little different, but, for Hendersonville, the way they came out, and like you said, they have really been physical on both sides of the football. That's why you got yourself a 7-3 ball game.
And you made the point about Tad Onwu having good hands, and we saw probably the best offensive throw and catch of the first half by Onwu, but we've seen a lot of throws to McGrone, and as of yet, he hasn't caught a single ball.
Right.
So you might see a lot more of Tad Onwu in the second half of this game for Riverdale.
Right, and I think the big thing for Riverdale is that, get Woodruff throwing in rhythm. And, he's had to do a lot of, whether it's the coverage and he's not reading it right, he's not going to his progressions. But we saw the one play towards the end of the second half. Riverdale's got a chance to score some points. Got a guy wide open in the flat, but he's looking down the field, ends up taking a sack. not good offensive football.
No, not at all. But I'll tell you what it does make for an exciting second half and probably a very important first drive of the third quarter for Riverdale.
Yeah, we're getting what we want, right?
Oh,
we
absolutely. It's hard to call. It's hard to call some of this misdirection, but it's certainly fun to watch. But what's interesting is these defenses are not fooled by each other at all. These offenses are having their struggles, and I would argue Hendersonville's definitely been the more efficient offense because they've been able to at least generate some movement down the field consistently with first downs.
Yeah, and Riverdale's relied on the big play.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube. That's youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports. We are PlayOnSports.com. Fans are on the field, but it's not Stanford Cal. Everything's fine. It just means halftime, and Mariko Odom is now being loaded onto a truck here.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
That's good stuff. All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program,
go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
one match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
29 yards. I got some insight on how he's looked the rest of the year. This is by far the most pressure he's seen. That he's a really good quarterback who's been off.
And now
his receivers
presenting the
have been
Riverdale
off,
Warrior
and he's
Band.
totally rattled by the pressure.
Performing
Which is
selections
what we
from
said.
their show, Rude. Field commanders are Samantha Webb and Lindsey Dunn. Soloist, Courtney Wright.
Our stats are courtesy of the Daily News Journal. I was like, I'm fine with that. We can get that every week. That'd be phenomenal. Because most of these people have their own stats guys that do radio and stuff. Hold on. Oh, we should.
Fans of Riverdale Warrior Marching Band. Fans, may we have your attention, please? If you are the driver of a black Fusion, license number 20H1083, you've won a towaway. Your car is blocking an important access route. Your vehicle will be towed away courtesy of the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. The tow truck is on the way. If you can beat the tow truck, you can still move your car. It must be moved immediately. Thank you.
Welcome back, folks. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? If you do, and we know you do, tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, head to playonsports.com/SBP. And PlayOnSports.com, not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here. And Adam Hollis getting set for the second half. It's going to be an interesting second half, but I'll tell you what, we could go back through these stats, but not much to go through. Jeremiah Elston, 2 of 3, 22 yards, which is a lot better than Dylan Woodruff, 2 of 8, 29 yards. We've got Jones, the fullback, 7 rushes, 31 yards. He's the leading rusher for Hendersonville, and Peyton Phillips, 5 rushes, 37 yards for Riverdale. He's the leading rusher in the football game. Total yards, 90 for Hendersonville. Riverdale, 137, score 7-3. Bigger news, Mariko Odom, we don't have exactly what's wrong, but we know it's a right ankle injury, and just as we were going to halftime, we saw him loaded onto a cart and taken off the field. So there was some speculation in the press box that he might be able to make it back into the second half, but I saw him carted off, so I'm going to go ahead and say his night's probably over.
Yeah, and that's a tough blow for Riverdale, to say the least. And, I guess, one of the things that, as you look at it, they are so deep and they've got so many different backs, but they just have been unable to get into any kind of rhythm offensively. And I would venture to guess that if you asked both head coaches about, and a lot of that is byproduct of good defense, what I'm about to say, but, both schools, both coaches probably tell you, they set offensive football back about 100 years with that first half.
Yeah, but the defense was good. I mean, yeah, the offense wasn't crisp, but Hendersonville's defense particularly, we were talking to some people a lot more familiar with the Riverdale program than we are, people that see them on a weekly basis. We talked about Dylan Woodruff at the top of the broadcast, how good he's been all year. They said this is by far the most pressure that he has faced at any point this season, and it's clearly knocked him off track. And I think it was one of the key points that you made during the first half, and that is he has no rhythm at all. This offense, as a result, has no rhythm, and that's why this game is 7-3. And I honestly believe Hendersonville has played the better football game overall to this point.
Yeah, I think if you're Hendersonville, you're coming into the second half with a lot of confidence because the way the game started, it didn't start well. If you remember the opening kickoff, Hendersonville, only is able to return the ball to the 13-yard line. 3 plays, they're punting. Mariko Adam, big punt return. Mariko Adam, explosive play. 3 plays later, Riverdale goes in, and you think, okay, here we go. Riverdale's off to the races. I mean, they're averaging 41, just over, tad over 41 points a game. The only game they have not scored 40-plus was last week against Siegel. And they put 28 up against Siegel, and then that game turned into a little bit of a track meet. So Riverdale only having 7 at halftime, little unusual. We'll see how they respond because they're certainly not used to it. Good news for them, they're getting the football.
And again, Adam, Dylan Woodruff, 729 yards coming into this game, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and he's looked nothing like that tonight. And you've got to credit this Hatfield Hendersonville Commando defense that's done a great job.
They have
keeping him just not on track. He's been very unsharp, and the reason why is because he's had 3 or 4 Commandos in his face consistently since the first drive. But Riverdale will get the football back off the foot of DeGuira, and that is not going to be corralled carefully, but he picks it up, and now he's only got one man to beat if he got by 43, which he's not able to do, but still a pretty solid run back. That's Ricardo Terry. Busted out around the 35-yard line, and it was interesting because when he dropped the ball, it actually helped him out when he picked it back up because everybody was waiting to go for the ball, and he had a lane right up the front, and he was able to make about 20 yards out of that.
Yeah, how many times have you seen that? Ball ends up, being muffed a little bit on a kick return or a punt return, and everybody over-pursues the play, and you're right, everybody also does what? They peek at the football, you lose your lanes.
Ricardo Terry went flying by him. So here's Dylan Woodruff. He's going to start out under center. He's still got the football. That was him supposedly all the way, and he's going to get about 2 yards as he gets it out to about the 38-yard line. Probably about a gain of 3 for Riverdale on that play.
Yeah, and that's a staple of the Bone offense. He's going to fake the belly, and then he's going to follow the dive back up into the hole, almost like your conventional quarterback draw play.
So 2nd and 8, they're going to give him 2 yards on the quarterback keeper. From the 37-yard line. And toss play, and that's interesting. That's McGrone again. And McGrone trips himself, gets knocked down the backfield, and we've seen him already drop a pretty sure touchdown on the post route earlier. And he actually he's been overthrown twice in this game, so he's just kind of been a curse on this offense to this point. Well, it was just his own feet that tripped him up there.
Yeah, a couple of miscues, but clearly they've got a lot of confidence in the kid offensively because they're trying to find ways to get him the football, which I like.
He's quickly fast. It's just, there's nothing you can do there. Every once in a while you're going to lose your footing, but unfortunately it's going to be a -1 gain. And now to throw from the 30 on a
rhythm.
rope. Oh, my goodness. He overthrows Tad Onwu by 1 yard. And he had the safeties beat by a mile on that play.
And that's the first ball that I've really seen him throw in rhythm. He made the fake.
What a pretty pass.
He got to the top of his drop, and he let it go. Just missed him.
That's tough to take because that was such a pretty throw, and it was just about 1 yard too far for Tad Onwu, who had 231 yards of receiving coming into tonight's game. Punt's going to be fielded on the 25, and it is also not fielded cleanly, but this one's going to leave him nowhere to go. And he's going to get taken down. Gets taken down inside the 20, but forward progress probably get him to about the 20. That's Justin Orr on the return for Hendersonville. On the tackle, Quan Sneed and Farmer. David Farmer, the safety. So pretty good pursuit there on that play, but again, that was the opposite of the muff punt we saw the first time because Riverdale got down there quickly off the high punt, and he was unable to do anything with the ball.
tell you what, Riverdale has really impressed me on special teams. Really both. Hendersonville's field goal kicker clearly is impressive, but just the way Riverdale covers punts and they cover kicks, I mean, you can tell they've got an overabundance of team speed.
Oh, absolutely. And they also took a 5-yard penalty on a pre-snap penalty, did Hendersonville, so they're going to start this one on the 10. That's Elston under center. He's got Jones behind him, but he's going to hand it to the back behind him. That's Kabasu, and Kabasu rumbles to about the 12, where he's cut down by 2 tacklers, including Tad Onwu, who was mere fingertips away from a huge play on the opposite side of the field for the Riverdale Warriors.
I like what Hendersonville did there, trying on first down to get the ball to the perimeter, get the ball outside. Nice thing about that, you make one guy miss, you break a tackle, you've got a big play.
You do. Jones the back, and he gets the carry this time, makes a good move to go back outside, finds the hole, and gets cut down about the 22, and I believe that's Onwu again, making the stop for the Riverdale Warriors.
Tell you what, real nice cutback on that dive play, and this kid's been impressive to me tonight. I mean, he's just, he obviously doesn't have all the speed in the world, but
he's a fullback.
But what they're asking him to do, running inside, he seems to have really good vision. He runs with really good lean. He's got that forward lean. He's always finishing runs. He's always finishing forward.
And he gets the first down. Elston hands this one off. That's Jones again. This is short gain. Doesn't get to the 25-yard line. Probably a gain of 1 on that play.
You get the feeling that this game is going exactly how Henderson. This was on their wish list right here.
If you're watching film, if you're Hendersonville, you're like, please just nice methodical drives. Let's run the football. Let's play good defense. Let's keep Woodruff out of rhythm. And they've done every one of those things to a T here tonight. Jones the back behind. Jeremiah Elston. This time Elston hands it to 27 behind him. That's the halfback Andrew Pate. And Pate gets that one across the 30 to about the 31.
Pate on the carry.
Good little scamper inside. Brings up a 3rd and short if you're an offensive coordinator.
Especially the way they've been able to run the ball tonight. They've shown an ability to move the chains tonight on the ground.
You like this? This is a call you're comfortable with. You don't want the 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, but 3rd and 2s, take those all day.
Here's Elston. Turns around, hands it right back to Jones again, and Jones, I believe, gets enough to get across the marker and get himself a new fresh set of downs for the Hendersonville Commandos.
Moving the chains. I think you used the word methodically. This is, what did Hank Stram say? Matriculating the ball down?
Matriculating the ball.
So we won't drop that one on you, but I tell you what, Hendersonville, we can't say it enough, and despite that, they're still losing the game by 4.
They are. 7:34 to play, 3rd quarter. Elston's got Jones behind him, and it's going to be Jones again. And Jones just ran over a couple of Riverdale tacklers on his way close to another marker. That's probably 8 or 9 yards right there. And this kid Jones is hard to bring down.
Here comes Thumper.
Tom Rathman on the field tonight for the Hendersonville Commandos. John Riggins out there.
And we got a flag down, and I don't know if this is coming back or not.
It may have been a hold.
That's a shame. I tell you what, Bruce Hatfield's got to be wondering.
A 3rd quarter score, 9 minutes remaining. Bradley Central, 16.
So that's 10 more yards the wrong direction for Hendersonville, and 2 or 3 times tonight they've had big gains spoiled by dumb penalties.
Drive killers.
But Jones is impressive. He is impressing me. I did not see him at all the first time we saw Hendersonville earlier this year, so clearly he's played his way into a major role. This time Elston rolls to his right,
got a lot
trying
of room.
to decide what he's going to do, decides he's going to keep it himself, and he gets past the first tackler and makes sure the second tackler has to drag him forwards instead of backwards, which is going to put him about the 43 A good, nice run on a long first down by Jeremiah Elston.
Yeah, always nice on 1st and 15 to pick up 14, but I'll tell you what, it made that decision, in my opinion, a little late. I thought he should have tucked it and taken off a little sooner than he did. He's looking downfield, and Hendersonville trying to find a way to make a big play.
9 yards on that run from Elston. He's got Jones behind him again. And it's the big man that gets it, and again he gets across the marker as he falls forward to the 46-yard line. And Jones just continues to be pretty much the back that Hatfield and Elston are going to rely on to move the football in key situations.
And you had Hendersonville on earlier in the year, the game at Wilson Central.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid wasn't playing?
I never saw him. I saw a lot of Kabasu. I saw a lot of Cameron Turner.
We're going to have to talk to Coach Hatfield about
find out what's going on.
Where he was hiding this kid.
This time it is Cameron Turner, and Turner gets the carry, and he gets swallowed up by about 4 Riverdale players. Brandon Stewart, one of them.
Brandon Stewart did not look like he was in a very good mood when he showed up at Cameron Turner's doorstep.
No, David Farmer also in on that play. So as soon as they take Jones out, they lose the yard.
Keep me in, Coach. We're productive when I'm out there.
Yeah. Jones now the leading rusher in this game, over 50 yards.
2nd and 11, but the best part about this drive is Woodruff can't get his hands on the ball.
Cameron Turner directly behind Jeremiah Elston. And he's got Brandon Tate behind him, and it's Tate that's going to get the carry. Tate trying to get to the corner, gets to it, and is able to scoot to about the 48, I think, is probably around where they're going to take him out of bounds. See where they spot it, but not bad, and showed good speed to outrun those linebackers to the side.
There's a good run there, and using the wide side of the field. I like that. 3rd and 5.
So that's 6 yards on that carry for Andrew Pate, And there is Elston from the shotgun, and he's still got the ball and slips and somehow, boy, that could have been disastrous. He had 2 Riverdale players chasing him at full speed. Travis Martin, number 71.
I'll be honest, I thought he had the edge.
I did too.
And they were going back to that throwback screen again
and
that they ran
tripped
with a great deal of success in the first half. And, I'm wondering, he should have just taken off and run with the football. There was nothing but green grass.
There wasn't. Unfortunately, there's a lot of green grass now between Riverdale and its punt returner as Hendersonville has to punt on 4th and 4. And it's going to go out of bounds around the 20, 21-yard line. Terry not even able to return that one. So, still 7-3, 4:51 to play here in the third quarter from Tomahawk Stadium. This is Play on Sports, TSSAA-network.com as well. Thank them. And our stats were courtesy of the Daily News Journal. Make sure we mention that as they're helping us out with some numbers here tonight.
Good folks down the hall.
Absolutely. Good folks in Bojangles.
I tell you what, they treat you right here at Riverdale. We should come back here every week.
Walk into the press box to hand you a large fry, a trail mix, and a beverage.
Doritos, Coca-Colas.
Just rocking it. All right, Dylan Woodruff. Let's see if he can get in rhythm now. He's in the gun to start, and he's going to hand the ball directly to his left. And the back carries to about the 33. And that's Boykin.
And that's a good, that's a productive first down run right there. Now you got yourself a 2nd and, call it a long 5, 2nd and 6 call.
4 yards for Boykin, 2nd and 6. Woodruff with a little bit of decent field position here.
Riverdale can get another first down here on the ground. I think they're going to take a shot.
They've got Onwu in single coverage over here. But nothing, they weren't looking to Onwu right there as Woodruff rolls to his left, keeps it.
Guess who on the tackle? Bork.
Bork's been all over the field.
He really has been active. Very impressive tonight. Very impressive. 6'3", 250-pound senior. Not his first rodeo versus Riverdale.
No. Hendersonville trying to, you see number 55 there, Ryan Ward, the linebacker, trying to get the crowd excited on the opposite side. That's pretty good turnout for Hendersonville. The Go Commandos and a Beat the Warriors set of banners we've seen tonight.
McGrone.
And that's McGrone on the carry. That's his actual position.
He might be short.
I don't think he got there, Adam.
I tell you what, it's close.
It depends on the spot, and I think they're going to give it to him. They're going to put it on the 39. That's exactly where the markers are. And they're going to call for a measurement, I believe. Nope. First down, Riverdale. No measurement. Man, Riverdale thought they were going to call for a measurement because the fans here were starting to boo, and then they saw the chains move, and they completely changed their tune. Stripes, you know nothing. Love you, Stripes. Way to go.
Right. That's right.
Dylan Woodruff under center. Peyton Phillips behind him. Still in Woodruff's hands.
There you go.
He's going deep again. One time this is going to work, and it does. It's Tad Onwu, 5. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown. Eventually one of those had to work, and it does for 6 points.
And that's what I thought would happen. Go for the, get that first down, and then on first down, go for the big play. And that's how it worked out. And now all of a sudden, that's a lot of points for Hendersonville.
With what we've seen from the offense and the way that they have to move the ball. That is a 61-yard touchdown pass.
And that was in rhythm, and that was on the money.
That is exactly how you draw it up. Extra point tacked on, and it's good. 14-3 Riverdale, 2:59 to play in the third quarter. And finally, Dylan Woodruff hooks up with one of his receivers, and we said at halftime, it looked to us like Onwu was the guy with the best hands on the team. Right there you saw it. Tad Onwu had his man by about a step, made it about 2 steps before it was all said and done, and gets into the end zone for 6.
And they've had that post open a couple of times tonight and finally been able to connect on it. And I'll tell you what, 14-3 has got to seem like a 3-touchdown lead to Hendersonville right now with the way Riverdale has played defense tonight.
And that's the first touchdown pass for either team tonight, and it was another pretty ball. Woodruff's got a good tight spiral on these deep passes. He's just been a little bit long, but that one was absolutely picture perfect.
And Hendersonville did a nice job right up until really that point of keeping Woodruff, contained. They've made it's been a noisy pocket for him all night. Hasn't really gotten a chance to get in rhythm and be comfortable. And that time he, good play fake, throws the ball in rhythm's got all kind of time. Nobody's in his face, and he delivers a strike.
And the question is, when does Hatfield start to take risks and throw this football? 14-3, it's still not out of reach, but it takes them a while to get up the field. Here's the kick. They've got Turner back, but he's not the one that's going to receive the football. It's inside the 5 when it's picked up. And he's going to get it out to about near the 25-yard line. On the return was Justin Orr.
Riverdale is good in the kicking game.
They are. They stay in their lanes, and they do not allow people to get past that first level of the special teams.
There has not been one punt return or one kick return tonight from Hendersonville that I thought, whoa, this is going to be a big play.
They're down there fast. They're down in their positions. They're down in their stance, and it's hard to make a move on people that are there long before you are. Elston under center. He's got, guess who? Jones right behind him. Not going to give it to Jones. He's going to give it right up the middle. We get across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. And that's Kabasu. Believe Kabasu.
Great name.
And his brother, Blessed Kabasu.
Great names. Great names. I wonder what descent they are.
I would be interested to know as well, and I'd be interested to know where the story of those names.
Yeah. That was a nice little tidy run by Believe.
It was. You better believe it.
I knew you were going for that.
Somebody was going to go there. Rim shot that. Somebody had to pull that nonsense. 2nd and 3. Elston alone. Still got the ball. Rolls out. He's going to throw. He almost got hit while he threw. There's the deep risk. And he had it. Did he? No. They say he didn't finish the motion and drops the ball. That was Pate. And he had the football, and that would have been a huge gain. And Elston just showed me that he can also throw the ball if he needs to.
Yeah, that was a nice job. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't a great ball, but certainly gave Pate enough time to come back and adjust and make a catch there. I mean, if you're Hendersonville, you've got to have that play.
So that brings up 3rd and 3, and a huge 3rd and 3. Now down 11, the Commandos.
And you got to convert here if you're the Commandos.
And it's Jones behind him, but he's going to give it to Cameron Turner. And Turner gets tripped up but falls and tries to dive for the marker. It'll depend on the spot. And they're going to move the chain. So he got there, and that was all effort because he got tackled beyond it and was able to fall through to still make it to the marker.
Yeah, he got hit about 2 yards before the first down marker and had some nice lean to his run, and it was a good job of slashing for the first down. He didn't make it by much.
So first down Commandos, and here's Elston under center. Jones behind him again. We've seen it all night long. Not Jones, it's Cameron Turner coming to your right, coming right towards the field, and he got drilled. And Onwu is in on that tackle.
I'll tell you what, that just did not time up very well because Turner was out in front of his guard at one point there. And I don't know if that's a question of him not being patient enough or the guard getting hung up on his pull.
Ben Wells and Scotty Boykin as well on that tackle. I believe it was Boykin that really laid the lumber on the initial shot that allowed for the gang tackle. 2nd and 8 now. It's Jones and Pate this time with Kabasu out to the left. And this time it's Jones, and guess what? Good things happen when Jones carries the ball. In this case, good things means another first down for the Commandos.
I think that was Farmer again on the tackle, but
McGrone as well.
Jones out there doing work.
9 more yards. Elston from gun this time. He's got Pate. Fakes it to Pate, rolls to his right, throws, and it's complete. Number 11, haven't called his name tonight. That's Jackson Duke. And that was a pretty good call.
And I like what they did with Pate out of the shotgun, little poke fake to Pate, and then they brought him off the backside to help out the tackle and protection on the backside. That gave Elston all kinds of time.
14 on the completion.
So how about the response here by Hendersonville?
Not giving up.
To the big play. Got to finish this drive.
24. All right, Elston hands this one off, and I think is that Jones again?
Why not?
That is Jones powering his way to near the 30-yard line, and the third quarter's over. Third quarter in, zeros on the clock. I swear these things are moving in fast motion. It's
incredible.
It's 8:30.
I would imagine this is what football, when two option teams get together and hook it up, like when Army and Navy would hook it up and they were both running the option.
Nobody's getting out of bounds, and the other thing is there have been a lot fewer penalties than you see in a lot of high school games. Both teams, with the exception of a couple of errant mistakes by Hendersonville, they played pretty disciplined football.
Yeah, and I think that's a credit to the head coaches of both these programs and the assistant coaches doing a good job. This has been one heck of a football game.
It has been.
And and Hendersonville trying to tighten up the score here and make it a bit of a nail biter here at Tomahawk Stadium.
And I know they want to run the ball, but from what I've seen on the two passes that Elston has thrown in the third quarter, he's capable of throwing the football, and maybe they should take a few more risks because they've both been successful. They've worked out pretty well. And Jones obviously running the ball, so Hendersonville just needs to find a way to get it in the end zone to turn this thing where it needs to be.
Right. You've got to finish. But I will, I'll say this to you, too. If you get in a situation, you do take the 3 points here.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And they're already in his range.
Yeah. Bryce
DeGuira with a lead foot.
Yeah, you've got to come away with points. Ideally, it's 7.
12 more minutes to play, so we'll be done in 5. Here's Elston from center. And hands it to, that's number 21. That's Anthony Tate. 5'9", 235 is the junior.
I believe that's the first time we've called his number tonight.
I do believe it is. Buddy gets 6 yards, and this is a nice, manageable 3rd and 2 from the 25, dead center of the field for Elston. Elston gives it to Kabasu. It looked like a fake, but believe Kabasu credit. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, twisted his way around, and gets near the 20-yard line.
That's at least the 3rd time tonight they've given him the ball in a big 3rd down spot, and he's converted all 3.
He did well. Like I said, he played well against Wilson Central. He played the Jones role in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight Jones has done a lot, and Kabasu has been used more as a decoy, but Kabasu is certainly capable of doing what he needs to do. And right there, they needed a 1st down, and they got one, courtesy of Kabasu. Elston. And I believe it might have been Kabasu again. Nope, not Kabasu. I see him standing. I know it wasn't Jones. It was Pate.
So they're They're spreading the wealth a little bit tonight.
Tate 21, Pate 27, and that was 21 on that carry. And that's another 5 yards.
2nd and 5, interesting call here. A lot of coaches like to run a little play action, take a shot at the end zone here.
2nd and 5. Elston not going to take that chance right now. Hands it to Jones, who gets it around the 24. Or the 14, that is. That's just a 1-yard gain, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Believe Kabasu's getting the ball here?
If they want to go outside, that's who you want to give the ball to. Coming across again from his spot where he stands a little bit off the line and comes behind the back. And you see where he's positioned right there, offside on the left. Jones to the right.
Play action.
Elston with the ball trying to make something happen. And guess what? It's Jones who gets open about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, and that's another 1st down for Hendersonville, and that's an excellent call.
1st and goal at the 9.
1st and goal, Hendersonville, as they are knocking on the Riverdale doorstep, and there's 9:42 to play in this football game.
How about a response? Big
Great
touchdown.
Drive. Great drive. And I see Jackson Duke in the game, who caught that big pass near the end of the 3rd quarter that really got this thing going through the air. And Elston has been pretty efficient on this drive. Elston this time hands it, I believe that's Pate. And he's going to get cut down around the 5. And we talked about Riverdale having a wealth of backs. Hendersonville does too.
Yeah.
They've handed the ball to 6 different guys tonight.
Efficiently,
Yeah. Tate now with Kabasu in the backfield, and it's Kabasu with the ball, and Kabasu gets to the right again, and he took quite a shot at the 4, and guess what? Tad Onwu makes that shot. Number 4 makes the tackle at the 4. Also McGrone over there.
Tell you what, that was a nice play from the safety spot.
It was.
Playing inside out, and, when he hit him, he stopped.
And Kabasu actually checked his gear after that one, made sure all his extremities were still there. Nice solid hit. So 3rd and goal from the 4.
Decision time if you don't get in.
It puts you within 1 possession to take the field goal. So we'll see. Maybe they don't need it. Elston under center. And he hands it to Tate, and Tate does not get there. But boy, did he get close. He got closer than I thought.
I guess the way you've played defense tonight, I guess you go for this here.
Probably on the road against a 4-1 team. 8:08 to play. Well, let's see what they're going to do. Yep. Elston stays in the game. DeGuerra remains on the sidelines. So really and truly, this could be the football game right here. 7:51 on the clock. Elston under center. 4th and 1 from the 1. And it's Tate, and he tries to push his way through, and he succeeds. Touchdown, Hendersonville, and Adam Hollis, you could not ask for a better drive than what the Commandos just gave Coach Hatfield on that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was great push up front by Hendersonville. He didn't make it by much. Good run by Tate, but now you got to go for 2, and you make it a field goal ball game.
So 14 to 9. I see Kabasu on the field. I see Jones on the field. I see Elston on the field.
Interesting. The ball's right in the middle of the field. Most teams on their 2-point plays have you have a choice where you want to put the ball.
Right.
Most teams usually put the ball on the hash so they can work the field.
So Elston's got Jones behind him. He's also got Pate, and he's got Kabasu to his left. And it's Pate, and Pate gets there. No, he doesn't. I thought he dove and got across the line. They're going to say he's short. Man, that was close. I thought he got there. I really did. But it's going to be 14 to 9, say the Stripes.
Yeah, but if you're Hendersonville, that's a great drive.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't ask for too much more if you're Coach Hatfield. But now you have to find a way to make sure Woodruff and Onwu can't hook up again for another one of those major passes. They were off on one, successful on the last one, and that's why the home team Warriors still have the lead. 4-1 Riverdale 14, 3-2 Hendersonville 9, 7:41 to play, courtesy of PlayOnSports.com, TSSAA Over 100 games tonight, Adam, Play On Sports, all over the country.
Excited.
Everywhere.
Excited, and the nice thing about PlayOnSports.com is you can use your iPhone or your iPad.
We did it during the half. We were watching games.
We were checking out the other crew at the Shelbyville game, Laverne Shelbyville, which I understand Shelbyville was down. Was it down 20-0?
They were down, yeah.
Yeah, Laverne was up 20-0 at halftime.
So DeGuerra to kick, Tad Onwu, and Mr. McGrone back deep for Riverdale. So this one could be another nail-biter.
Got to do a good job in coverage here.
And we'll see how it goes. Nice high kick. It's going to give his team chance. Not fielded until the Hendersonville team crosses the 30. It's Onwu.
Ooh.
Onwu, and great job right there. That's number 12, Jack Peters, on that tackle. And Onwu tried to run through him, and Peters just stay wrapped up, used his momentum to drag him down, and that was just a great one-man tackle right there on Tad Onwu.
Great open field tackle by Peters, and that you know how hard that is to do.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got to break down, and then you've got to deliver a blow. You've got to wrap up. That's a big play for Hendersonville.
And we know what Onwu's capable of in the open field. So very impressive play. This drive's going to start on the 18-yard line for Dylan Woodruff and the Riverdale Warriors. He's under center. He's got Peyton Phillips behind him. And he gives it to Terry instead, and Terry gets it to about the 18. So not much there, maybe a yard at best.
This game gets real interesting if Riverdale is a 3-and-out here.
It's already interesting, but it could get a lot more interesting for sure.
I tell you what, this has been a fantastic football game.
It has been. If you like defense and you like people just running the football intelligently on both sides, you've seen it tonight. Here's Woodruff. He's going to throw, and he throws it low, and that's the only place he possibly could have thrown the ball where it would not have been intercepted, and it's caught by number 18, and that's son of the coach, tight end Aaron Adelot.
And guess who was in the backfield again? Brandon Bork.
That kid's playing a whale of a football game.
He's lived in the backfield tonight.
Again, give Woodruff credit. Throwing the ball down is the only way that he possibly could have completed that pass and given his guy a chance to make the catch. Third and 4.
Biggest play of the night.
Oh, definitely. 3rd and 4, and Woodruff's going to take it from the gun. He's got Peyton Phillips to his left. McGrone in the slot comes across behind him, and the give is to Phillips, who got a really good jump, and he is completely free, and he's past midfield to the 30. Aren't they going to get there? 10-5. No, he's going to run all the way to the TP, and that is a heartbreaker for the Hendersonville Commandos, and you saw it. As soon as Peyton Phillips touched the ball, Adam, he was already 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and Hendersonville just had nobody there to stop him.
Well, great call, and I think that they were bringing a linebacker from the other side, and there was nobody in the crease. I mean, as a guy I used to work for, I like to say, that was blocked till the cows come home.
That was awesome. 77 yards.
Worth of real estate.
For Peyton Phillips. And the extra point is no good. So it's 20-9, 6:05 to play, and now you're going to see Elston throw the ball.
Yeah, I've got to think Hendersonville's got to, now they're in a situation now where they're playing the clock, and, again, big play Riverdale. And now you know why they're averaging 41 points a game.
It's been big plays every time. The big run that took that took Odom out of the game early, the big pass to Onwu, and then right there Phillips. And honestly, Phillips right there could have become player of the game on that run.
Yeah,
that was an unbelievable run, and it was also incredibly well blocked by the Riverdale line.
Yeah, they strike quickly, Riverdale. I've been very impressed with the way they have what I call explosive play ability. They've got explosive players in the backfield. They've got explosive players at wide out on the perimeter. And, oh, by the way, their trigger man's pretty good. He's pretty efficient with what they do, and he does not throw interceptions.
Hendersonville has played a really good football game. They've been beaten on 3 big plays, and that's why we are where we are.
Yeah, and sometimes you play a whale of a game, but you're up against a team that's just better.
Here's Huber. Huber to kick. It's Orr back deep. We've seen him all night.
See if the Commandos can respond again.
Coverage has been great. You've mentioned that all night long for Riverdale. We'll see what they can do here. Here's Orr. Catches it around the 8. He's still on his feet. Makes a decent move there to get a couple of extra yards. He'll be talked down about the 31-yard line. So not bad. Not bad starting field position for Elston, but at this point the clock now becomes a major enemy for Hendersonville. 5:57 to play in the fastest high school football game I've ever seen.
Yeah, and to show you how good Riverdale, that's as much as they've given up, and Hendersonville has the ball just outside the 30.
Odom by far the lead back for the Warriors, but I'll tell you what, Peyton Phillips has been a workhorse tonight. We've talked a lot about Jones. We may have undercut what Phillips has done. This time, Elston holds onto the ball forever, and he had nobody anywhere close to him to make any kind of problem there. And it's number 80, Tucker Bean, the tight end, who's going to make the reception and move the chains. And it seems like every time Elston rolls to his right, he's successful with a pass play. Maybe they should continue to look to that more often.
Now, I tell you what, it's easier for a right-handed quarterback to throw moving to his right. Going to his left, you got to really kind of tuck in that left shoulder to let it go. He's only a sophomore. He'll get better.
So here's Elston. This time it's Pate getting the carry. Pate rolls over a tackler and gets inside the 45. So they are certainly moving the ball already over midfield. They got good field position off the kick, and they're making the most of it. 2 consecutive plays. This one, again, close to a marker. It's going to leave a short 2nd and 3.
2-possession game. Got to go faster. Got to play faster.
5:15. Yep, you're absolutely right. At this point, if you're not calling a timeout, huddling up is just really going to make it difficult on your team. Elston's got Jones behind him, Kabasu to his left coming across. And it's Jones that gets the carry. And if you're going to go after a huddle, running the ball, if he got there, that will stop the clock for just a second. And clock stops at 4:55. Looking to the sidelines to see if he got there. And they say first down, Commandos.
Yeah, Hendersonville's really playing the clock. And, and this is where, when you're trying to come back in a game like this on the road, where having a sophomore quarterback with not an overabundant amount of playing time in these situations hurts you.
Elston from the gun. He's going to throw this time. He's got Pate. He's going to throw deeper than Pate, though. He's going to try and go for number 23, and 23. I think he made that catch. He makes the catch. What a reception right there.
Right on the sideline, and they're going to mark him short of the goal line. They might mark this at about the 1-yard line.
And he is hurt, but he made the play.
That'll get you back in it in a hurry.
And that was Bailey Rogers. And Rogers is listed as a quarterback and a D-back. and he just made probably the biggest reception of the game for Hendersonville.
Bruce Hatfield, sneaky.
Hatfield does what he's got to do. We've seen Rogers in 2 plays tonight that I've seen on offense, and both of them have gone for serious positive yardage. 4:35, first and goal from the 1. So Hendersonville, in a minute and a half, has gotten this thing to within 1 yard of another one-possession game. And the give is to Tate, and he gets hit in the backfield but falls through the end zone. And we've got a 5-point game, Adam Hollis.
Tell you what, big play. That's really, since the throwback screen in the first quarter, that's the first explosive play Hendersonville has really managed.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of decent 10, 15-yard rollout passes, but that one clearly the biggest throw of the game for Jeremiah Selston.
And now, look how big the extra point that was missed is, because if they convert the 2-point conversion here, they're down a field goal.
That's right, and we'll see if they can do that. They got the 2-point conversion the last time. Kabasu in the game, Jones right behind Elston. Kabasu comes in motion. Elston still got the ball. Let's see if he can get there. He's going to have to outrun the linebacker, and he gets grabbed and thrown back. Elston thought he had it, but number 21 for Hendersonville, that's Scotty Boykin, alertly on the tackle, grabs Elston's jersey and helmet and kind of pulls him backwards so no part of his body looked like it got over the goal line to make it an easier call for the officials.
Tell you what, I thought he was going to get to the corner. Riverdale and Boykin especially did a great job of rallying to the football there.
Boykin's lateral pursuit really impressive.
Oh, yeah, and you know, how hard is that on, you know, you're in pass coverage, and then you've got to rally to play the quarterback. And that's why some of these quarterbacks nowadays, they really hurt you in the running game, because if you lose contain up front, now people you have designated for coverage, now they've got to come up and make a play. And that was a fantastic play by Boykin, maybe the play that saves the game tonight.
Very possible, but you got to give Hendersonville a lot of credit on that drive. I mean, yeah, they had to huddle up, and we talked about the time, but basically in 100 seconds, they got a touchdown.
Yeah. And
big throw by Elston, couple of big runs. And another thing we've seen tonight, no turnovers. These teams doing a good job of holding on to the football. A near interception.
We had the muffed.
And a couple of muffs on each
recovered.
side.
Yeah, but recovered. Now, if you're Hendersonville, you try something funky here with an onside kick.
4:31, one possession. You probably kick this deep and say, hey, defense, you've done it tonight. Watch the big plays and don't let them get behind you in the open field.
Only thing that scares me about that is they got gashed pretty good.
They do.
On the last return. So I
expect to see a lot of Phillips in this drive. They are a sneaky team, so we'll see what Bryce DeGuerra does. And it is an onside kick, and it doesn't go 10 yards. And it was fielded by Riverdale anyway.
Now, Bruce Hatfield and I think alike.
Now they'll kick it. I would say the element of surprise at this point is gone.
I would say you're probably right, but that doesn't necessarily mean.
That's true. You're the coach.
It's about execution.
It's 4:31, and Hendersonville still has 2 timeouts to play.
It's about execution. You're telling your kids, look, it doesn't matter that they know it's coming. It doesn't matter that
That's true.
You got to execute. You got to beat your man.
So they're huddling up before this one.
Having said that, I agree. I tend to agree with you that this ball is getting kicked deep, or it's going to be a mortar kick.
You got some hands, guys.
You can see the space between the 15-yard line. Your deep returners right here, and your upbacks are all the way up to the 45.
It's Onwu and McGrone back deep, but if you look at the hands guys up here, they know it's coming.
That's right. But this is going to be some kind of mortar kick right over their heads, just like that.
That's exactly what it is. And it gets down at about the 25. Onwu catches it in stride, and there was a heck of a block, and they're in trouble now. Onwu off the ankle, stays on his feet, breaks another tackle, and he gets to midfield before he's tracked down. Tad Onwu.
Great return. Jackson Duke saved the game right there for Hendersonville, because if he doesn't grab his ankles and slow him up for a little bit, Onwu is to the house.
And there was a heck of a block over across the field just as Onwu caught that ball.
You probably need to get 2 first downs to feel comfortable if you're Riverdale here.
And, of course, we've got player of the game coming up. We're going to talk to him. We're going to see who it's going to be. And now we have to question who it's going to be. Peyton Phillips done a lot, but Tad Onwu right now, with what he's done in a couple of different possessions in this game, has got to be near the top of that list as well. This time is Peyton Phillips. As I said, probably going to see a lot of him as they're already close to – it's danger zone now. We're talking 4 minutes, now under 4 minutes to play, and they're going to be in no hurry here. Phillips gets 3 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 7. Dylan Woodruff. He's got Peyton Phillips behind him. Gives it to Terry, who was coming across in motion, and Terry gets it to about the 40, maybe the 39-yard line. That'll bring up a short 3rd down conversion.
I like the way Terry slices the ball on that speed sweep. He just always seems to find that seam that's just right to hit it up in there.
And right before he gets tackled, he always likes to just dart in the direction that he needs to direct to get a couple of extra yards. Right there, it turns a 3rd and 4 into a 3rd and 2, long 2.
Nifty little back, huge play here for Hendersonville. Got to get a stop, obviously. But, you know, Hendersonville's been as game as they get tonight. I mean, they could have packed up the tent a couple of different times tonight. No quit in Bruce Hatfield's club. And I think, you know, whether they come back and win the game tonight or whether the score holds as is and Hendersonville loses this football game, I think they drive back home just north of the airport tonight and wake up tomorrow feeling pretty good that they went on the road to a 6A power, a team that's going to be playing deep into November, and gave them all they wanted tonight.
They certainly have nothing to hang their heads about here. It's been a few big plays from a big-time football team in Riverdale here at home. And this crowd now a little bit louder, cheerleaders moving a little bit more freely. And it's Woodruff. And that gives to Terry. And Terry, I think, lost that football on the way down, was able to recover it, but that's not going to be enough for the first down. So that's going to bring up 4th down.
What do you do if your coach ate a lot here?
Probably go for it and hand it to Peyton Phillips. Seriously, that's what I do.
Yeah. You know, you'd like to think you could quarterback sneak it for this much, or run belly and get it. And every coach, I guarantee you, Riverdale's offensive line coach is saying, "Let's hunker down, let's go for this, And so that's probably what they'll end up doing. And you know, really, it's a one-play game if you're Hendersonville right now. You got to make the stop.
3:16 to play. Hendersonville just took their last time out. They might have one more set of downs, but if they don't get it here, they get the football back with less than a minute to play, and that's not going to be enough time because they need more for these longer drives. So too early to say it's the football game, but this is probably the football game.
Peyton Phillips?
That's what I'm saying. And Phillips and Terry are in the game. Terry also potentially coming across. We'll see. He's going to line up to the left as Woodruff's under center. 4th and a long one.
They're not going to. Oh, there they go. Quarterback sneak.
Keeps
first
it and gets
down.
it.
I tell you what, I thought they weren't going to run a play. I thought they were just going to try and draw him offside. That was well designed.
So they have marked this thing really short. Like they've marked it right on the marker. I think it's still there by a nose, but it's a lot closer than it looked during the play.
We got a tough angle here, but boy, does that look like it might just be short by.
That is unbelievable. That's going to be so close. That's going to be on the white of the football one way or the other.
Yeah, that's going to be short by the width of a Ritz cracker. Our man Jim Gilmartin upstairs.
Killing it on video as always.
Always. Upstairs he came down at halftime for his Ritz crackers.
Chris handling it from producing chair. And they do, in fact, say they are. Well, both teams think they have this spot. We said it was going to be close. We didn't know it was going to be that close. Hendersonville is celebrating, and they stopped them. They stop Riverdale on 4th and 1, and there's Riverdale fans standing up, pointing at the field.
I tell you what, it was so close that both teams thought they had it.
So did the referees didn't want to call it because they couldn't come to any kind of a consensus. So
now if you're Hendersonville, you got plenty of time.
So Woodruff certainly looked like he had it on first glance, but maybe his knee hit a little bit faster than we could see from here. But now 20-15, Elston with no timeouts, but 3:12 on the clock to try and put forth a huge victory, and that's Jones, and he's going to get knocked down at the 40 for about a 2-yard gain.
Not a good way to start a drive right there. Got to go fast.
2:55 to play. Last week came down to a game winner in my game for 12.3 seconds away. It looks like we might have something similar here tonight. What a 4th down stop by Hendersonville, particularly when we didn't think they were going to snap the ball based on the way they lined up. Here's Elston. This time he gives to, no, he kept the ball. Smart play because Turner was down in the backfield. Turner free now, 40, 45, midfield, and knocked down in Riverdale territory about the 45. What a call that was.
Went back to the throwback screen again off the waggle. Wow. And Turner looked as quick as he looked all night.
He did, and they believed he had the ball because they tackled him, didn't realize it went for Elston, and then there's Turner wide open, 15 yards in a circumference around him.
You can almost feel Hendersonville's energy from up here.
42-yard line, and what a call that was. It's worked all night. Elston this time is going to hand it to Pate. Pate trying to get free, makes the first guy miss and finds a little bit of a hole. Gets it to about the 37. 5-yard gain.
Under 2 minutes now.
And it's just 9 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. And there's no way this is going to overtime because 5 is not possible. Outside of a field goal and a safety, which would make national news.
That's impossible.
Yes. Elston. Kabasu. No. Kabasu on the fake, and it's Pate that gets it again.
Got to run another play quick.
And he gets really close to the marker. If he got to the marker, then that will stop the clock.
See, here's the issue here, okay? The issue is their quarterback needs to go all the way over to the sideline to get the play, and that's killing about 10 and 15 seconds every time he's doing that.
Well, they've stopped the clock to at least measure this or talk about it, and Elston's already received information from the sidelines. 1:24 to play, and they're going to measure this thing. It's either going to be third and a really short one or a first down, Commandos.
And that's Elston having to come over and get the play is the byproduct of the fact that he's a sophomore, right? Because next year or the year, or his senior year, he's going to be able to digest more of Coach Hatfield's offense, and you won't be in the situation when you're playing the clock and you've got to have your quarterback coming in.
Elston gets a signal just now. He went back over and changed it again.
Yeah, it's just tough. And I've been there as a coach with a young quarterback, and it's just tough. I mean, there's only so much a young quarterback can digest.
So it's going to be 3rd and 1, and the clock still hasn't started running, so it's been, in effect, the timeout for Hendersonville thanks to the measurement. Obviously, 2-down territory here. 3rd and 1, it's Jones right behind Elston. Kabasu to his left, Pate to the right. And Duke, the receiver, it's Elston. Elston cuts back to his left. And again to his left, escapes the grasp of Terry and gets to the 25 or 24. Riverdale wants an illegal block right there to their fans, but they're not going to get that call. They're going to actually say he ran out of bounds just inside the 27-yard line, but it's first down Hendersonville, ball on the left hash with 72 seconds to play. Riverdale's getting antsy out here. These fans.
As game as they get, the Commandos tonight. You want to talk about just playing the game. And they've been fantastic to watch, both ball clubs tonight, but obviously Hendersonville came in as, in the court of public opinion, a pretty big underdog tonight.
I would say so. So here is Elston. And we've got a penalty here. Fans also believe that Elston did not get out of bounds, that he was tackled before he could get to the sidelines. And then they just called a timeout. The official signaled timeout Hendersonville. Guess what? The Commandos don't have one. And the Riverdale crowd is incensed. 0 timeouts on the clock, and they've called a timeout. Maybe there's something wrong with the scoreboard, perhaps. That's the only thing that makes any sense at this point.
Yeah, I don't remember them using all 3 of their timeouts.
I thought they had only used 2 and that there was an issue with the scoreboard. But the problem is, when there's no TV coverage, a way to see it, these Riverdale fans are looking up to us as if we have the answers and we don't.
They don't know us from Adam. But and here's the deal.
No pun intended.
The referees, the officials, they're keeping that down on the field. So if they didn't have any timeouts left, it's not the old Chris Webber deal.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and believe that the stripes can count to 3.
Yeah,
and that there's just a press box problem here with the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's what I'm inclined to believe too. Because I will tell you this: the TSSAA officiating crews, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're solid.
They're pretty good. Not saying they're infallible.
No one's infallible.
But they do an outstanding
these guys
job.
Might be better than the Week 2 NFL replacement officials. We'll see.
Yeah. Now they're struggling and coming under fire. They did all right.
Fans are screaming at the refs right now, and let me tell you what usually happens during those scenarios. Their team loses.
Yeah.
That's historically accurate, folks.
And it's just a sign of frustration when you start screaming at the officials. $1:10 left on the clock.
Plenty of time. Ball on the 27-yard line. And I would not doubt that we're not going to see another one of those throwback screens before this drive ends.
One more before the night's over?
I think it's very possible. I don't see Turner out there, but I do see Kabasu in his traditional spot. And Jones, again, is going to be right behind Elston.
How about a wheel route to Pate?
That's possible because of where Pate is positioned right there. Jones is not likely to be the back here because he's more the up-the-gut guy. We'll see. Here's Elston. And he's going to give the number 30. I think that's Wardlaw. Is that Jacques Wardlaw? Yeah, that's Jacques Wardlaw. That's the guy who came in at the end of the first half against Wilson Central and really ignited the Hendersonville team. That's the first time he's carried the football tonight, and that's a really nice run.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time he's been in the game all night.
Here's Wardlaw again, the freshman. And it's Wardlaw. He's going to throw. Oh, my goodness. Jackson Duke was actually open. The ball a little bit wide. But, boy, they're getting tricky out there. Hatfield's not a block, not against going for some strangeness out there.
I like it. Gets the give to Wardlaw to just set that up, which was outstanding. And he had a man.
And now it makes the Riverdale defense have to think. 3rd and 1, 44 seconds to play. And the ball on the 17, and there's another.
How big was that not being able to convert that 2-point conversion now?
And Riverdale takes a timeout. They're a little concerned after that Wardlaw play. I guarantee you, they're like, guys, calm down. They're not going to call that again. I wouldn't say that there, Coach Adelot.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty good setup there. Give the ball to him the first time and then come right back to it.
I said throwback screen, but didn't expect Wardlaw to come across with the ball, stop on a dime, and throw to the end zone, and he had a guy. He was just wide.
You might get it now. I'll tell you, the other thing is Chip Kelly, head coach at Oregon, coached against him for many years when I was at Dartmouth. He was the offense coordinator at New Hampshire. He used to have a theory, and he used to, his theory was that if you run a gadget play, whether it hits or not, if it looks good, come right back to it, same drive. So we'll see.
We'll see if Hatfield's from the Ducks School of Offense.
Because that's really a run-pass option.
Yeah,
because you got the ball's in the hands of a kid that's pretty quick.
Yep. And like I said, he was a great change of pace against Wilson Central. Really ignited a team that at that point was unable to have done anything in that game. Kabasu is in. Jones is in. I don't think Wardlaw's in the game. And he gives it to his right. That's dangerous.
First down.
But he gets across the marker.
Here we go. Got to take a shot at the end zone here.
Yep. So first down. They've got to get it to the 5. And Elston clocks it. Well, I'm not sure he clocked it because that would have made no sense. No, he clocked it.
I'll tell you what, this is nail-biting time for Riverdale. And if you're the Commandos, you have got to take a shot at the end zone at one of the next 2 snaps.
And you've got to expect it's going to be Jackson Duke that will be on the receiving end of that. And Duke and Elston run back to the formation. Both of them ran over to talk to Hatfield. And both came back as if they got a signal. Duke's going to be split out wide to the right. He's got Onwu on him, single coverage. There's Elston. He wanted Duke, but Duke had there was nowhere for Duke to go. But I'll tell you who was open, Jones. So Jones is open, and guess what? Jones got out of bounds as well.
Well, I tell you what, this has been one whale of a football game, and oh man, I'll tell you, Hendersonville is doing one heck of a job of just staying patient, and all these, little rollout throws and little boot throws and these runs, and haven't turned the football over.
And I actually see Odom with a crutch over here watching on the Riverdale sidelines. So good to see him upright at least. Here's Elston. Elston still with the football off the fake to Kabasu. Looking to Jones, throws it over Jones, looks at Duke, throws it over Duke, and I think they're going to call pass interference on McGrone for impeding the route of Jackson Duke, and that is a huge penalty if that's indeed the call.
That's a tough call. That's a tough call.
Because that ball looked uncatchable. It looked too high.
It did look uncatchable. It almost looked like Elston was making a good play, especially for a sophomore throwing away.
Yeah.
Right. Don't, take care of the football, manage the game. But now you're going to put Hendersonville in a position here where, they can run the football and then get back on the ball and spike it and get 3 plays.
26 seconds to play. 1st and 10 off the penalty. That is a huge call.
So we got 1st and goal at the 5 from the right hash.
And there's going to be another timeout for Riverdale, and this crowd is not pleased about the last 2 or 3 minutes of this game.
And here's the thing, and you touched on this a little earlier. You got a sophomore quarterback. You got the ball on the right hash going in. Now if you run any boots or anything like that, he's moving to his left. Like you said, not as an accurate a thrower moving to his left. It's a harder skill set.
It's very true. Throwback screen.
Yeah, that's it. That's the answer.
Let's see if Cameron Turner makes his way into the game. If he does, I'm going to call it. Folks, you can't ask for more than this. 20-9, 6 minutes ago, and Hendersonville looked dead and buried, a 3-2 team that has a hard time scoring a lot of points. They get to up the field in less than 2 minutes, make an incredible stop on 4th and short on the quarterback sneak, and then methodically, in 3 minutes, walk up the field. And the best thing about this drive is if they score, they've left no time for Riverdale to find a way to win this game.
And, what an effort. I mean, they come into a hostile environment here at Tomahawk Stadium, playing an absolute powerhouse, and you've given up 20 points. You got a chance to win the game?
So as you said, from the right hash, here's Elston. Kabasu with the ball. Kabasu touchdown. And the press box just shook because the Hendersonville coaches just pounded the walls next to us. And I'll tell you what, when Kabasu turned upfield, there was no way he was going down. He pushed 4 yards past the goal line just to make sure it wasn't even close.
If this score holds up, this will be the talk of tomorrow morning.
It absolutely will, and it deserves to.
And they'll be talking about it on 104.5 The Zone on Friday Night Wrap-Up tonight.
Very, very soon after we go off the air. Make sure you tune in over there. Remember, play on. This game's been kind of quick. There are other games in Tennessee going on. Laverne and Shelbyville. You can turn over there and listen to our cohorts in crime.
You can go playonsports.com and check out action from other states.
Absolutely.
Georgia,
California, Illinois. And that is Tate on the carry, and I think he's not going to quite know. He's still on his feet, and then he gets pushed into the end zone. 2-point conversion.
That's huge.
Good, and that makes it a field goal situation to tie. So a field goal now cannot beat Hendersonville, and the H flag is flying high tonight at Tomahawk Stadium.
10-game winning streak at Tomahawk Stadium in jeopardy.
And we said at the half, we felt like Hendersonville had played the more efficient, consistent game. It was big plays keeping Riverdale in it. And what we've just seen in the last 6 minutes, Hendersonville's really dominated this game.
Yeah,
They have.
They've done a nice job on both sides of the football. I mean, we'll just, I know we usually go to a skill guy, okay? I'm going to throw out Brandon Bork tonight for Hendersonville as player of the game.
That kid's done a tremendous job of making Woodruff's life miserable.
Yeoman's work inside all night.
He's been outstanding. Elston's been incredibly good tonight.
Hendersonville's entire offensive line.
Definitely. Jones has played a great game. Kabasu's had a couple of nice carries.
Big third down conversions all night by
And Elston hasn't
Kabasu.
even bobbled the ball tonight.
No.
He's been as sure-handed as you could possibly want your quarterback to be.
Sophomore managed the game.
So, 22 seconds to go, and I'll tell you what, they probably don't want to get this anywhere near Onwu, and they're going to squib this thing, and it's going to go to McGrone. Nope, not McGrone, it's Terry, the running back. Terry makes a couple of guys miss and gets it across the 30. 16 seconds to play and one timeout for Riverdale, but that could have been trouble. That could have been real trouble because that ball squirted to one of those fast guys.
This crowd's in shock.
They're stunned. They're absolutely stunned. You see them against the fence right now standing. They cannot believe what they've seen in the last 6 minutes of this game, and quite frankly, neither can I.
And how excited are you if you're Hendersonville that Riverdale came in and ruined your homecoming last year, and you go on the road.
Big plays
and
are capable, though. And it's Woodruff, and he's got everybody going deep.
There's
a flag, and that's going to be an offensive hold, so this doesn't matter. And it's going to be stopped, and guess who? Jackson Duke, the wide receiver, deflects that pass out of bounds. And that's probably going to push him back 10 more yards on the hold, if indeed that's the call. I think it is. Yeah, that's pretty much the story of the Riverdale fans' night right there. Refs, you insert whichever adjective you'd like to describe that action. I will not repeat it.
That was a hold.
It was indeed a hold. It gave Woodruff an extra couple of seconds to get that pass off. Hendersonville crowd starting to feel it. 10 seconds to go, maybe 2 plays to go. If you're lucky, if you're Riverdale. And I'll bet you we're going to hear this box erupt next to us because we've got the Hendersonville coaching staff, and you can hear him beating the floor. Throws off his back foot to Peyton Phillips. Phillips spins out of the first tackle and gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 30. 4 seconds to go, and they're going to have to take their last time out. And Woodruff actually looked like he was holding his right arm there for a second, but he's okay. So we're about to see the old Hail Mary.
Yeah.
That's it.
We could see about 17 laterals here on this play. And
this is high school, so you never know.
Never
know. You better stay in your lanes. I guarantee you that's what Hatfield and company are saying. Stay in your lanes. Don't fall for a bunch of stuff. Just make the tackle and let's go home with a win.
And for the defense, it's such a nerve-wracking thing because you know exactly what's going to happen. You know all you got to do is find the football, wrap it up, and just funky things happen.
So either this is the talk of tonight and tomorrow for what Hendersonville did, or it's going to be the talk of the country for what Riverdale's about to do. So one way or the other, news being made here tonight at Tomahawk Stadium. So glad you chose to join us here on your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. It's going to be from the gun. It's Woodruff, and everybody's heading deep. And he gets hit as he throws, and that ball's picked off. Number 19 seals the win, Braden Schwert, who we've called his name several times tonight. And there's a mob on the field and the Hendersonville team who lost on their homecoming night at home to Wilson Central. Just redeemed their season against a really good Riverdale team who never was able to really get on track because of guys like Brandon Bork.
District 9, shock tremors just went through District 9.
Riverdale loses 2 straight and their first at home in 10 contests. Tomahawk Stadium stunned.
And, I mean, while the score was close, I mean, you really felt like, as you said, Hendersonville was doing a fantastic job of managing the game. They weathered the storm of the explosive plays that Riverdale made, and in the end, just had enough to get it done on the road. And I'm sure this has got to be a sweet win for Bruce Hatfield.
Oh, definitely.
Three straight. District 9, watch out.
And I see Odom over here on a crutch, and you have to wonder, him being such an important part of this offense, going down on the first drive of the night, what effect that may have had on this Riverdale offense. But the big story is guys like Brandon Bork and this Hendersonville defense just making life miserable for Dylan Woodruff.
Yeah, and and I think up front defensively for Hendersonville, that was the story of the game, because as we talked about in the first half, I mean, he had thrown for 29 yards at halftime or whatever it was. It wasn't a great deal. I think he was 4 for 8 or something like that, and I don't remember exactly what the halftime stats were, but it was noisy in the pocket.
It was about 130 yards to 90 yards. Elston was 2 of 3, and Woodruff was 2 of 8.
Yeah, so
never got in rhythm, and this is one of the great scenes that you can see in high school or college sports. The fans leaving and celebrating with their team and doing it on the road against a very, very quality opponent in the Riverdale Warriors, who made some great plays, and in the end it was just a methodical running offense with a couple of nice passes from Elston that get the job done in what was an exceptional football game to be a part of on any level.
And Hendersonville, I mean, how much? Let's talk about this. They go on the road, and they play a team that's scoring 41 a game, and they gave up 20. I mean,
and other than 3 plays, they gave up nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, they corralled them all night long.
So it was a fantastic effort, and if you're Riverdale, you gotta regroup. It's not a district loss. But you hopefully you get back on track and you can get going again. We haven't heard the last of Riverdale.
Oh, no.
But I will tell you this, Hendersonville, watch out.
And their next game, the Hendersonville Commandos, Beach.
Yeah.
So, and now Beach is going to have to really start thinking a little bit harder about the Commandos. They're going to have that game at home is Beach, but Hendersonville just showed tonight they can play with the big dogs.
Yeah.
And maybe Wilson Central is that good because they crushed Hendersonville at Hendersonville the last time we saw them.
Right. And, when you start looking, and now we're getting into kind of the meat of the order, a lot of district games that are going on, but these are two teams that are very familiar, great rivalry, like you said, great atmosphere tonight, and, hats off to Hendersonville, but by the same token, maybe this was a wake-up call Riverdale needed.
We thought last week would have been the loss there against Sevier, but they just tonight it was Hendersonville that caused this loss. Not Riverdale's inefficiency. This was Hendersonville taking this game by the throat out of the gate.
I'm going to say this to you. I don't think there's anybody beating Siegel this year. Now, I could be on my drive home tonight listening to Eeks and Withrow, but Siegel's the best football team I've seen so far this year. I don't know how you feel.
They're awfully good.
Yeah, and balanced and explosive and active on defense, and but here you go again. Riverdale got to regroup. 2 straight losses. First loss at home in 11 tries, and now if you're Coach Adelot, where do you go from here? If you're Coach Hatfield, you got a lot to build on.
Coach Adelot has young kids. Yes, a lot of them are seniors, but he's got young kids who he now has to take on the task of telling this season's not over, guys. We're still going to make the playoffs. We're still going to be a factor. Don't get too discouraged about this. We were beaten by the better team tonight. Let's get tighter. Let's be better next week. And let's get this thing back on track. But these young kids are going to be discouraged because they absolutely thought that they had this game in the bag, and Hendersonville was having none of it.
Yeah.
And Hatfield put together a great game plan, and it was executed to perfection by the Commandos.
No, there's no question about it. And, let's hope Mariko Odom's going to be okay because obviously, they're a lot better with him than they would be without him.
Think about if Peyton Phillips was more the change of pace back from Odom, what he might have been able to do, for example.
And think about, Odom's touches, like you said, you got the change of pace back, but, that frees up Woodruff to do a lot of things because now you can get explosive plays in the run game. Yep. You don't have to just get him, through your air attack.
But what we've seen, and we see this stadium empty out awfully quickly, is Riverdale leaving this beautiful Tomahawk Stadium with their second loss in a row, and the first time that this crowd in this stadium has seen this team lose in almost 2 years.
And with the excitement of Hendersonville winning, I do not believe that we are going to be able to get
It's going to be very difficult.
We are not going to. We're going to try, but I don't know that we're going to be able to get our player of the game up here. But we're certainly going to give it a try.
So we're officially going to call it Brandon Bork, and we'll see if we can get him. Either way, we'll be back with the post-game show. That's moments away.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back. Got to get to this one quick. Brandon Bork, our player of the game for the victorious Hendersonville Commandos. And I actually saw Hendersonville. We called the Hendersonville-Wilson Central game a few weeks ago. That one not quite as good for you guys, but you've gotten it on track. And Riverdale had a 10-game home winning streak until tonight. You guys shattered it. How does it feel?
It feels great. We've just been working hard all season long, and it just feels great to get a big W like that. It's a real morale upper.
Did you guys feel like you could get to Dylan Woodruff pretty much at will, because you were seemingly in his face all night long and just never let him get any kind of a rhythm throwing the ball?
When we knew he was one of their top players, so we just worked on pass rushing for the majority of the week, and we just had to get back there to help our DBs out.
Talk about Elston and the way he was able to pretty much manufacture that last drive. 6 minutes to go, you guys down 20-9, come back and win this football game. And it's got to be just a great feeling for you guys.
Yes, sir. He's a great quarterback, and we're glad he's got his confidence. We're just ready for him to lead us on.
What do you expect for the rest of the season? Now 4-2, just like Riverdale came in 4-1, and now you guys are tied.
Yes, sir. I think if we all work hard and we keep doing what we're doing, I think we can go all the way. Just going to take a team effort.
Brandon Bork killed it tonight. Made it a nightmare for Dylan Woodruff. We're going to let him get on the bus so he doesn't have to walk home. Great game tonight,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the postgame show here, playonsports.com and TSSAA
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Here we are. Play on Sports. Brandon Bork just walked out of the room, and tall guy, big guy, that Brandon Bork, and he played a tall football game tonight for Hendersonville. I don't think Riverdale expected to walk out of their own stadium tonight with their first loss in almost 2 years, but Hatfield and the Commandos had other ideas. Adam Hollis.
That was a fantastic football game, and, we said it at the top. Hendersonville needed to figure out a way to kind of slow the pace of the game down, and they did exactly that. And they were able to withstand kind of the big body blows, if you will. A couple of explosive plays by Riverdale really accounted for their 3 scoring drives. Can't say enough about the way the Hendersonville team just kind of hung in there, and then at the end made enough plays to be able to win the football game, but it was a byproduct of how they executed their game plan.
Executed a great game plan on offense, and on defense it was let's stay in Woodruff's face all day. And Tad Onwu made a couple of big plays, and he looked like he was every bit the player we expected him to be coming in tonight. But after they lost their key running back, it just became a pretty difficult night, I'm afraid, for them. But, again, other than the big plays, Hendersonville basically played a perfect game on defense.
Yeah, they really did. And keeping Woodruff kind of at bay, never letting him get real comfortable in the pocket, I think, there was no rhythm. Like you said, 2 of 8 at halftime. Comes out in the second half, does make a couple of good throws, 1 drop, another one they connected on. But you never really felt like the passing attack for Riverdale was clicking on all cylinders tonight. And obviously the big blow, losing Mariko Odom early in the game. And, I don't know a lot of high school football teams in the country that can recover from losing such a dynamic presence on offense like him.
The other thing is this game moved awfully quickly, but every time you looked up, Elston was on the field with the offense.
Yeah.
It's like, Riverdale had some big plays, but Hendersonville seemed to own time of possession with those big drives, and every time you looked up, it was them moving the ball. It was either a big play or Woodruff was on the sidelines.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Elston tonight. Sophomore, I think Coach Hatfield and his coaching staff at Hendersonville have to feel fantastic about the future of the hands that their program is going to be in at the quarterback position. Managed the game well, made some plays, made some throws, managed the clock at the end of the game. Kid's a sophomore. I think they've got to be real excited about that. And, he looks like he has a lot of upside to him. If you're Hendersonville, you got to feel great about that.
And you got to feel great about being 4-2 and finally getting that signature win to really hang your hat on. They were able to celebrate on the field. They're all running to the buses, celebration at pizza houses all across near the Hendersonville High School. And then they go to Beach next week, and Beach is going to hear about this. And I'm going to be very interested to see how that game ends up next week. Beach awfully good, but the Commandos are starting to show they're not going to be pushed around, especially on defense.
Hendersonville sent a wake-up call to everybody in District 9. We're back.
And guess who else is going to be back? Us, Play On Sports, next week. We'll be back with a ton more games. Actually, you could probably still go to playonsports.com or TSSAA network.com to catch the tail end of some other exciting action. We don't know exactly where we'll be. We just know it's going to be fun. For Chris, for Jim handling the video, for Adam Hollis, my name's Jason Martin. We'll see you next week with more for Play On Sports. Until then, so long, everybody.